Assalamu alaikum everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you all had a blessed Eid. So after a refreshing break, I am back again with another topic. As you all know, we are looking at the second unit, that is food. Today we are going to start a new chapter. Look at this picture. What can you see? Can you guess the name of the chapter for me just by looking at the picture? What is the little boy on the screen doing? Right, he is deciding which food to eat. So, the name of our chapter is Choosing Food. You can refer to your textbook, page number 100. Let me ask you a question. What is your favorite food? Think. Shall I guess it for you? Is my guess correct? Is this your favorite food? It's my favorite food as well. We all choose food which is high in fat and which has got a lot of sugar in it. But are these food good for our health? Nearly everybody likes sweets and fatty food. But should we eat it? We start with a topic which is called as overeating. What do you mean by overeating? As you can see, in most of the countries, the average body masses are rising, right? All the food we don't use is stored as fat. So even when people are not hungry, you eat a particular thing just because you like burger, and if when you're not hungry, somebody gives you a burger, you're going to eat it, right? So what is going to happen to the food that you are eating unnecessarily? It has all been stored in the form of fat. So what happens because of this? A person becomes obese or it becomes overweight. So if somebody's body mass is much higher than the recommended level, we say that they are obese. In the worst affected countries, more than 30% of the adults are obese and the number is keeping on increasing. So scientists blame a change in the people's eating habit the reason for obesity. They think that because of the food habits or because of the lifestyle, people are facing a problem of obesity. As you can see, there are so many risks of being obese. Person gets diabetes, there is high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and so many diseases. In many parts of the world, families are eating very less fresh foods, right? We rely mostly on takeaways and processed food from supermarkets, right? And all these food contain a lot of salt, a lot of sugar, and also a lot of saturated fats. All these things are more than the fresh food, right? Which are making the food very tasty, right? But is it good for our health? The question arises. And at the same time, we have more energy saving machines in our homes. We have got cars, right? So we don't walk. So we get a very less exercise. So because of all these reasons, again, a person becomes obese. What is obesity or what is obese? If somebody's body mass is higher than the recommended level, we say that they are obese. What is the reason for obesity? Change in eating habits and change in the lifestyle of people. In many parts of the world, people are eating very less fresh foods and they are depending more on takeaway or the processed foods, which has got more amount of sugar, salt and saturated fat as compared to the fresh food, right? And we have also got a lot of energy saving machines at home, more cars and all, everything very, at the tip of your finger. So because of that, you need not exercise, you have to go somewhere, you sit in the car, you ride your bike and you just reach over there. When you have to go to your house in a building, you use a escalator or you go in the lift. So again, you're not doing any exercise, so because of that you gain a lot of weight. What are the different risks of being obese? You've got type 2 diabetes, you've got high blood pressure, you can even have heart disease or even cancer. Now let us see what is the solution for all this. Now, there is a bit argument among scientists. They argue that educating people about balanced diet isn't enough. They feel that only educating people about balanced diet, what is balanced diet, why you should eat it, what is it is not sufficient. They say that the only way to prevent obesity is to make fatty and sugary food more expensive. If it is going to become expensive, people will not buy it. So they are saying, apart from educating them regarding balanced diet, you should also make these kind of food, that is fatty food and sugary food, more expensive, so people will not buy it. And they are telling that you should incorporate more exercise among people. So how can that be done? They're saying you can change the design of the cities to make people, cycle more or walk more. You should make these kind of things more attractive than owning a car. And they also want to stop the TV companies advertising sugary food and prevent them from being sold. So these are all the solutions which are given by scientists. Let's repeat it once again. The first one is that they are saying only education or educating people against balanced diet is not sufficient. Another way to prevent this is that they are telling to make these kind of food very expensive. If this food is expensive, people will not buy it. They are also telling us to change the design of the cities to increase more exercising pattern, or so that people can walk more, they can cycle more, and they can rely very less on their car. They don't find it more attractive. And they're also telling TV companies to stop advertising sugary food and prevent them from being sold. Moving on, we've got another topic which is called as tackling deficiency diseases. What are deficiency diseases? I hope you remember our last class, right, where we spoke about deficiency diseases. Today we are going to learn how to tackle these deficiency diseases. Now, even in countries where obesity is common, people still suffer from nutritional deficiencies. In the last class, we saw we had got two kind of things. One is malnutrition, then also people were suffering from deficiency diseases because they were not getting proper food. But in countries where people have got so much to eat, they are also facing from deficiency. Why? Because they are eating their food definitely, but they are not taking the proper nutrients. Therefore, it results in nutritional deficiencies. So even in countries where obesity is common, where there is food present in abundance, people can still suffer from nutritional deficiencies. As you know, Wheat is one of the world's main cereal crops, right? Wheat is used to make flour, right? We eat roti. What can you see in the picture? Ashirwad. What else is written over there? It is written Ashirwad fortified atta. What do you mean by fortified? Fortified means to add extra nutrients. Fortified means to add extra nutrients. So in most of the countries, common food like you've got bread, cereals are fortified, means an extra gene or extra nutrients are added to them. So what is going to happen because of that? It makes easy for people to get more vitamins and more minerals without changing what they eat. We eat chapati every day, right? But it is not giving you that much amount of nutrients. So what have scientists done? They have fortified it. Means what? You need not change your eating pattern, but apart from that you are getting extra nutrients. Why? Because you are eating fortified food products. So this is one way of tackling a deficiency disease. Okay, what is that way? The food item is fortified. That means extra nutrients are added. There is another way of tackling this disease. They have used an example of golden rice to explain it. What can you see in the picture? There are two types of rice. One is our normal rice that we eat every day, and the second one is golden rice. Apart from wheat, rice is also another important crop that we use, right? But unfortunately, natural rice does not contain much of vitamin A. Vitamin A is present in rice, but the amount is not sufficient. So to try to tackle the problem, scientists developed golden rice. So what is the speciality of this golden rice then? These rice plants produce more vitamin A. How and why? Because scientists have added extra genes to them. So the first way of tackling deficiency disease was they fortified it. That means they added extra nutrients. And the second way is that they are adding extra genes, right? So what did they do? They added extra genes to your normal rice and they got golden rice. It is said that a bowl of golden rice every day provides half the adult's recommended daily intake of vitamin A. That means whatever amount of vitamin A is recommended for an adult, golden rice, just one bowl of golden rice is providing half the amount of it, right? So it is helping in a very positive way, right? If golden rice is successful, it could help stop millions of people going blind. As you know, people develop blindness because of the deficiency of vitamin A. And we are now having golden rice which are rich in vitamin A, which is providing you a lot of vitamin A. So if this experiment or this discovery is successful, it could help stop millions of people going blind. However, there is still a debate. A lot of research is going on whether, if it proves that this rice is going to really work. There is a lot of debate and a lot of questions going on regarding genetically modified food where you add extra genes. So a lot of research is also going on. Let's hope for the best in the future. So what was the speciality of golden rice? To our normal rice we had added extra genes which were giving more amount of vitamin A. Yes, so let's have a quick overview of today's class. Today we learned the chapter Choosing Food, where we first told our favorite food. Is it wise enough to eat that food? Then we also saw what is overeating. What do you mean by obesity, or what is obese? What leads to obesity, and what are the different problems or health risks associated with overeating and obesity? Then we also tried to find out solutions for this problem. We said that scientists are telling that only education is not sufficient. Apart from that, they should make these kind of food very expensive so people will not buy it, right? Or they are telling to change the design of the city to make cycling or walking more attractive. And they're also telling to stop TV companies advertising sugary foods, and prevent them from being sold, right? So let us together think of more solutions to tackle this problem. So brainstorm a bit and come up with new solutions. Then we also saw how to tackle deficiency diseases, where we saw that was done by two ways. In the first case, they were fortified, that means extra nutrients were added. We saw the example of wheat. And the second one was where extra genes were added, right? And we saw the example of golden rice. I have another activity for you. I want you to make a poster to promote healthy eating. You're going to do this activity and stick it in your notebook. I am observing that most of the students are not doing their activities. I've given you more 2 to 3 activities so far, but I haven't received any. I hope you know that these activities are also a part of your notebook work. So I want you to do it and complete the activity in the notebook and send me the pictures. I've just got a few examples for your reference. You can just have a look at these pictures and use your own creativity and make a nice poster. Avoid doing writing work. See how beautiful this poster is. Try to be more creative. The poster should be very attractive, colorful, and more of images. See, this one is also so beautiful. Healthy food, healthy mood. Come up with very innovative and creative captions or slogans. So you're going to do this activity where you're going to make a poster to promote healthy eating. Yes, so with this we are done with the second unit, and inshallah in the next class we shall begin with the third unit, that is the digestive system. Till now we studied food. Now you should know how that food is being digested. So the next unit, that is unit 3, is the digestive system. Okay, then that's all for today's class, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.